Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100 Football Sports Talk Radio. I am your host, Logan Landers, and today I'm going to be doing a NFL Draft Prospect special on Haskell Garrett, the defensive tackle from the Ohio State University with the Buckeyes. However, before I get started, if you enjoy this video, this episode of the podcast today, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We go live Mondays and Wednesdays on Facebook and YouTube at 100 Football. We have clips of all of our shows on Instagram at 100 Football. And of course, like I said, our podcast brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network. We have close to 700 episodes available to listen to right now with amazing football content, history specials, draft prospects, recruiting specials, legends interviews, anything and everything football that we have available for you to listen to over at our podcast at 100 Football, thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. But before I get started on Mr. Garrett, guys, the big game is finally here as we hit Super Sunday with the last game of the football season. As always, BetOnline has you covered from odds, scores, totals, player performance props to where the next fired coach is going to land. BetOnline is the number one spot for all things NFL betting in 2022. And it's not just football. BetOnline's basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC odds coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your number one online wagering destination. Head to the BetOnline today or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to get you started. The fastest and easiest way to wager on all of your favorite sports and play your favorite games, BetOnline, where the game starts. Haskell Garrett, what a story this young man has, right? So he was in his super year, right? We all know that in 2020, with everything going on, some guys were able to come back and have another year at college, and Mr. Garrett decided to do so. And what a solid decision at 6'2", 300 pounds even, came out of Bishop Gorman High School. This man has as a wild story, honestly. So he didn't get a whole lot of play early on in his career, right? He didn't have a whole lot to show for early on in 2000. Like I said, he started out early in 2017, played in 8 games, only got a couple of tackles. 2018, 2019, played in some more games, but still not a whole lot going on statistically. 2019-20 had a little bit more going on there. 2.5 tackles for loss, 10 total tackles also. And, in 2020, 2021, that's where he started to kind of break out a little bit. 2 sacks, right? 4 tackles for loss and a total of 20 tackles. But then 21-22, right? This past season, he had his breakout year. He had 22 total tackles, 10 of those being assisted, 7 tackles for loss, career high, and also 5.5 sacks this season, which really helped out. Also, he has a couple of pass defense throughout his career and an interception in 2020, 2021. But his stats, like I said, nothing eye-popping. But before I get on to what he did at the Senior Bowl this past week, I got to talk about, man, what the adversity that he had faced because, he might not have been able to play football again. So late in 2020, right, around Christmas time, Haskell Garrett was shot in the face on August 30th is when it was. He was trying to break up an altercation between a man and a woman in the university district, and the gun fired right into his face. The bullet went in one cheek and came out the other. It hit his teeth, his tongue. So, this guy he sustained a serious off the field injury, and he was able to come back, right, and played in all 8 of the games that he was able to in 2020, 2021. So I just want to applaud him for his amazing tenacity and his toughness to overcome just the obviously the mental side, the physical side, just an all-around horrible, scary situation. I'm glad the young man's doing okay now, first and foremost, and I'm happy to see that he's going to get his name called here in just a few short months. So happy to see him get through that, and now hopefully get his name called pretty soon. But the we all know the Senior Bowl just happened pretty recently, and he actually made a good name for himself. Recorded a couple of tackles for losses against some really game wide receivers, right? Against Brian Robinson from Alabama and some other, also with Dameon Pierce. So he's able to really stand out. He got a couple of tackles. And the Senior Bowl, right? It's for guys who are trying to just boost their draft stock even more in a game. And I think Garrett did just that after a really good 21-22 season. And now, after a pretty solid Senior Bowl, we're kind of seeing that he's starting to maybe hit his peak, right? And I'm happy for the young man, right? In 2021, everyone lifted him. Everyone thought that in the preseason he was going to be a star. And I mean, he lived up to it, right? He had a breakout year, played a ton of snaps, played a lot for Ohio State. Like I said, went through all that adversity. And man, after all that, after playing in a lot of games, got a good bit of action later in his career. I'm happy that he was able to finally break out. And while he might not be listed as a top player, right, this guy I think is going to be a late round pick and someone that you just have to develop a little bit, right? As long as he can maybe keep up those sacks, work through those offensive linemen, help out, I think he'll be fine. But I just before I keep going on more and more about him, I just want to say that he's safe, he's all that. He helps out the defensive line, he keeps them safe, and he doesn't cause them much worry, right? Because I mean, guys, what's more important than peace of mind? I'll tell you what, it's nothing. And that is what NordVPN is here for, to give you peace of mind while you are online. And with all the threats you face today on the internet, it's more important than ever to be sure that you have the best VPN you can get. NordVPN is the world's best VPN service, offering the fastest connectivity, most servers, and next-gen encryption to make sure that everything you do online stays secure. Plus, you can use NordVPN on all of your computers and devices, no matter the operating system. With NordVPN's unlimited bandwidth, you never have to worry about a slow connection either, and plans start at under $4 per month. So, grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/believe or use the code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to get up to 70% off your NordVPN plan, plus one additional month for free. It's also risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. So Haskell Garrett going to make a lot of money in the NFL, right? And I think that, as like I said, the late-round pick is kind of a prospect. I think that's someone you could take a chance on, someone who had a solid 2021-22 season, and someone you can just build off of, someone that might be more as a backup, probably not a starter off the rip, right? But if you can develop him, I think that he could be someone who could be a very special football player. And he's got the talent. He's shown the heart, obviously. I think that Haskell Garrett is going to be a nice piece for whoever picks him up. There's a lot of guys, there's a lot of teams out there who need a good defensive tackle, someone who loves the game, which obviously he does. He played a lot of football. Someone who is tough, who is gritty. And overall, man, I mean, after doing some research on Garrett, like I say, he's got a good motor. He doesn't do anything, half. He does it all the way. He's got good strength also. I can't wait to see what he's going to do at the NFL Combine. We'll see what he can do. But after, I think with a little bit of good coaching, I think we'll see him really start to take off. And I'm excited to see where Haskell Garrett's going to lead up, because a guy with as great a story as he has, right, coming over all that adversity and now going to be making it into the NFL pretty soon, you can't help but root for the guy and hope he has a tremendous career. So I hope that Mr. Garrett has a good and long career in the NFL. I can't wait to see where he ends up. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, this episode of the podcast here today, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We go live each and every week on Facebook and YouTube. We have an amazing podcast brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network. And also we are presented by Bet Online. So thank you guys. Thank them so much for all their support of the show. We go close to 700 episodes of the podcast available right now for you to download, whether you're working out, whether you're on a car ride, whether you're just relaxing at home. We have a bunch of awesome content, draft prospects, recruiting specials, history specials, legend interviews, game previews, anything you can think of football related, we have it covered on the show. And we are doing a ton of work, 15 to 20 episodes per week for your listening, for your viewing pleasure. And this place that we are available on any major podcast streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Radio, you name it. We are available for a download, for a listen. Also, leave us a review. Let us know what you think of the show, what you want to see, what you want to hear, and we will be sure to reply to you. And because we love engaging with all the fans at 100 of Football. So once again, I've been your host, Logan Landers, talking about Haskell Garrett, the defensive tackle from the Ohio State University. Guys, have a tremendous day. We will be back with another live video in just a little bit, so stay tuned.